We have the pleasure of being joined now by acclaimed Ukrainian film director, producer, television executive, and businessman, Alexander Rodyansky. Now, thanks for being with us. Look, in light of the misinformation campaigns in this war, you have a major social media presence. You started posting every day on Instagram about the war, trying to explain what's happening. Is this your main platform at this point?
Well, before the war, I used to write my blog on movies and shows. And I decided that Instagram is the most effective platform that would encourage many viewers to join my interests. That was the way. So when the war started, February 24th, I found out that my platform is the only way for me to express my feelings. And February 24th was the ultimate red line. For me, there was no way that I can continue using my Instagram to talk about films and TV and entertainment, and not to talk about the unspeakable crime of war that is Russian invasion in Ukraine. And what I feel extremely important about my social platform, this is one of the very few platforms where Ukrainians and Russians can meet, can actually start the dialogue, can talk, and try to find kind of a common language. And this is the major task of mine. I don't know whether it is working or not, but it gives a chance to many people to hear each other, because one of the major challenges of this war is absolute, I would say this is the wall between the nations and the countries. The people don't hear it themselves. So, and it's, by the way, the major achievement of Russian propaganda. That's what happened.
We really appreciate you being with us. We do have a break to step out to, Alexander, so please stay with us. Thanks for staying with us. Now we continue our in-depth look at all things on the one-year mark of the war in Ukraine, and we still have Ukrainian film director Alexander Rodyansky with us to continue. Where we left off. Your thoughts on the Russian propaganda right now? How effective is it? How does it work?
Well, I personally consider Russian propaganda and people actively engaged in disinformation of the Russian population to be war criminals in every sense of this word. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing them in the court and behind the bars, because Russian propaganda is the powerful machine and very effective machine that helped Putin and his clan to construct the alternative reality. It is an alternative reality indeed. This reality created to the population of Russia. And war and the image of the war and reasons of the war is not only crime of propaganda. The horrific moral abyss that Russia descended into has been created by propaganda. The fact that Russia has become the country of violence, domestic abuse, corruption, and many people in Russia, if not to say the lion's share of majority of population, don't care about that. This is what propaganda did.
Look, I want to get your thoughts on President Zelensky. I mean, in the course of just a year, he went from really being the butt of jokes to being a serious international hero, a warrior leader. How do you see this dramatic transition?
Well, that's true. Yes, he's a hero, and not just for Ukraine, and even not just for Europe, for the world. The time of Trump, of post-truth, fake news, he's real. He's real. He's defending his own country. He's speaking to his people every single day. He finds the amazing words. He encourages people. He tries to actually to support them. So he needs ammunition, not a ride. That was his words on the second or third day of the war. And he's not just a hero. He's more. He's a symbol. He's a symbol of courage, of ideals, and actually ideals of the truly democratic world. That's why he's a leader today of free world. He's not cynical. And this is so rare today. He's sincerely, believing in what he's saying. And that made him hero. And he's courageous, absolutely courageous. So basically, I absolutely believe that Ukraine got luck. It is lucky to have such a president in such a difficult times.
Now, the critical question, how can it all be de-escalated? Is there a ladder that can be offered to Putin at this point? How can it be resolved? Or is the Kremlin gearing up for a decades-long conflict?
Well, so as we all know, Russia's future is truly, totally unpredictable. Right now, for sure, everything can change tomorrow, or nothing can change in decades. I've asked yesterday my friend, very well-known Russian political journalist, living, of course, in exile right now, and he said this is for next 50 years. I don't think 50 years, but it could easily take decades to get Russia free, to make it free again, like it was, let's say, like it was supposed to be in the 90s. So maybe, and no one knows the scenarios of the future development in Russia. It could be, many countries instead of one huge empire. It could be like 2 Koreas, or maybe Russia's elite will finally find the balls to act and realize that they have no future with Putin in power. What I can say today, that I believe only in 2 tools to change the situation in Russia. I believe in the Ukrainian military forces, and I believe in their ability to defeat Russian army on the battlefields. It's extremely important. And second, I believe in an ability of the solidarity of the West to provide the sanctions to reduce the ability of Russian economy to finance the war. When Russia finds itself out in a position of losing on the battlefields and having economic problems, Russian leaders and Russian elite would try definitely to do something in that situation. This is, on my personal point of view, the only way to stop this war and to de-escalate the situation. Otherwise, this war would be, like Putin said actually yesterday, addressing to his nation. It is kind of a new norm. That's a new normality of the life. That's how they feel. It could go on. It could become the long-standing, never-ending conflict. So the only way to stop it, to make Russia free, is to win the war. For Ukraine to win the war. That's it.
Thank you, Alexander Rodyansky. Thank you so much.
Thank you.